Welcome to Caribbean Millennials.
Welcome to another episode of the Caribbean Millennials podcast. We're here, so it means another week has gone by. I hope everyone had a great week and a great weekend.
Spring has sprung.
Sure. Lent?
Still going on.
Still going on? Okay, yeah. Just making sure.
What? Aren't you a good Anglican? Shouldn't you know?
I was about to say, well, my mother would be very disappointed if she heard me saying that.
When don't you give a pull-in?
Work.
I wasn't ready for that one. I wasn't ready for that.
I have to give up something, very,
Boy, that
work,
one touch me. That one touch me.
Show God how committed I am to him.
Y'all, I'm not going to lie. Vernon's, I don't know if to say mental health, but Vernon's disposition in the past, how long you haven't been looking? 6 weeks?
Month and a half.
6 weeks. Yeah. He's so much happier. He's like a beacon of light,
So here's the thing. I'm my father's child. And let me tell you why I say that. When my father takes vacation, you can literally see he looks younger.
Yeah, your face looking nice too.
So,
yeah, you. I think you could get it,
And then nobody shares me out. I know I can give it, so... Alright?
Boy.
Woo.
Hot and spicy on the podcast.
Oh boy.
Danny, how was your week?
It was lovely.
Oh, but I like to hear when a Danny has a good week, when my people have good weeks, Productive, I assume.
Oh yes, productive. Got a lot done. Cheers to the week ahead.
Yeah, man. And I hope it's the same thing for you again. More productiveness.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll stumble upon some money somewhere. Hey, come on. So, Anushka, how was your week?
Oh, it was great. I went to a tulip farm. I was out here picking flowers.
Slacker's not working.
Why pick fights when you could pick flowers?
Yeah, and not do the work. I'm just messing with you.
You always messing with me. It's your constant state of being.
Did you have fun at the tulip farm?
Yeah, it was nice just kind of, being out in nature, appreciating the flowers, having a new experience, right? Because driving out into the country,
I know you were out there, and then now Kevin was messaging me like, yo, you were out at tulip farm, and didn't come and check me. It was like right by my house. I'm like, first of all, sir, I was not at a tulip farm. Because I looked outside, and I felt my eyes start to burn instantly. It just looked like allergies out there. So, yeah. But so your week was fine. Yeah,
it was good. I feel like I got work done, but I didn't take things too seriously this past week.
Okay. Is that something you're trying to aim for now?
Yeah, YOLO.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. I took you to Greece on Friday.
Oh my God! My husband took me to Greece on Friday.
Right.
Tell them about the Euros. Sorry.
You have to
Euro.
You ate it, so you have to give the the review and whatnot.
So, guys,
disclaimer. No, before you give disclaimer. So, I have made it my mission to expand my recipe, my repertoire. All right. So I have a bunch of things I want to try, and the first thing I wanted to try was
gyro.
All right, I think Anushka said you have to look up
gyros.
We had a big discussion as to is it gyros or euros, whatever. So she look it up, and
we had the YouTube man from Greece
explain for us.
It's gyro, and you have to roll the.
You have to roll your R's and whatnot. So I made it for her, So now give us your review.
Oh my God! First of all, my top 3 cuisines are, in no particular order, Greek / Mediterranean, Indian, and Asian food, right? I know the Asian is a broad category, but decisions. So, if you put Greek anything in front of me.
So you're a mere type person, basically.
Yeah.
You're a Mediterranean.
Y'all, when I cross the Atlantic, it's going to be a problem.
Probably get deported too, but okay.
Anyway. He had me try the chicken, just a little taste before, he marinated chicken thighs in yogurt and
Some lemon
some
zest, some
lemon
lemon
zest,
juice.
all that goodness. He had the hummus, he had the hummus, tzatziki. The chicken was cooked perfectly moist. We had feta. We had the little cucumber and tomatoes diced up nice and small, y'all. And then when I folded that bad boy, oh my god, I was.
So honestly, I want to 10. You give it a.
Oh, fucking 10. Yeah, let's go.
Right. Okay, cool.
Okay, 9.5. I could have done with a little red onion, but it was still a vibe.
Yeah. So yeah, I did that.
My house husband is coming through and he's enjoying himself while doing that. Love that for him. Love that for me.
Yeah. Has anything gone on this week, guys?
I don't know if it was this week or last week or whatever, but remember I said spring has sprung, right? So
I know something did go on.
So there was this whole thing that came up in the U.S. Senate that they say they may get rid of daylight savings time.
Yes.
How do you all feel about that? I mean, so I think they said if it approves in the House, we may do it one more time, like at the end of this year.
And they're going to do it one more time, and basically when it switches in 2023,
right,
it's not switching again.
Right.
Yeah.
Personally, as many of you coming from the Caribbean and moving up here, the whole time, like changing the time thing has been weird. But it's something we've done because that's what
the man says to do,
right?
Babylon.
But I just love when there's more daylight. So if it's like now, I understand like waking up in the morning may be harder, but if you got places to go, you got places to go. I rather take the daylight than
honestly, I feel no way
darkness.
I really feel
you don't spend time outside, so
even if I did spend time outside, I feel no way about it. Whoop-de-doo, whatever. That's why I stand on that. So if they
we'll
change
see what
it,
happens.
If they change it, they change it. I mean, I saw some people online because there's those people who have like the deep conspiracy theories. Well, not conspiracy theories, just the everything have a deeper, darker meaning to them. So like, daylight savings originally was like it was made so that the slaves could pick more cotton and whatever, which is probably true.
Yeah, agricultural.
It's like it's the way the government control us and whatever. I'm like, okay, all well and good, but whether they keep it, get rid of it, I don't care.
I think though, if it has any chance of improving people's mental health, I'm also all for it.
Sure, true.
Because that the winter darkness is a next level thing, especially for those people in the Northeast.
Yeah. Obama caught COVID.
Okay, many people have. Is that
I just let you know. That's one of the things I saw this week. Look, this episode, I just let you know some of the wild things I saw on the internet this week. Okay, and you all should share any wild things you all saw on the internet for us to discuss. But that is not the main. That's not what I came here for. Like I've been waiting for this episode for us to talk for today because the craziest thing I saw, right? A D1 Division 1 trans woman won a D1 swim competition and people are not happy.
That's college.
Yes, college, okay. Division 1, NCAA. So let me explain to you. She was a man before. She swam on her school's D1 men's team for 3 seasons before she transitioned into a woman and decided to swim on the women's team. When swimming as a man was average at best, didn't really win much. Swimming as a woman instantly breaks the record, wins by miles. Like they were showing the video of the race, and when she finished, the person still had 2 laps. The person who came second still had 2 more laps to do. When they were giving the trophies, everyone cheered for second place. When they get first place, they booed.
Mm.
I want to know how you all feel about this. Do you all think this is transphobic or just unfair? Adani, let me start with you. Let me, get Adani's take on this.
I don't think it's transphobic. But then again, I might not understand where they are coming from. However, right, this will only happen one way, right? Because if
If a woman
woman is transitioning to a man,
she won't have the advantages.
And I doubt she'll try and play any male sports, right? So
they have.
And they've probably done horribly. Or some
so that's what I was about to say. So funny thing is, there is another D1 athlete who transitioned. She went from being a woman to a man.
Mm-hmm.
She was winning on the women's side. Now hasn't won anything on the men's side. Just for reference. But continue.
What sport?
Swimming as well. But continue, Dani.
So there's some, I don't know, there's some problem in our society where we are trying to get everything accepted right now, but just because it is morally right does not mean it is logistically right.
Now, Adani, you say, I like the way you would. It's a problem in our society, because I agree.
Now
they're trying to make a square peg fit in a round hole.
Now, y'all say this, and it flashes me back to some things about women in track and others, black women in track and other sports that were testing high for just
testosterone,
naturally having higher testosterone, and they're being penalized for that, right? Like, full transparency, right? Like, last day I was going through something where I had extremely high levels, of testosterone, right? It's not something
make you
that
any less
cannot,
of a woman.
Caster Semenya from South Africa had to take that's blockers for her natural amount of testosterone. But people who transition were allowed to compete in the same Olympics. So,
but listen, stop. Here's the thing, Adani. Because you hit it. Let me tell you something, Adani. You so spot on with the argument you're making there right now. And here's I'm not transphobic. I don't think it's transphobia. I think it's unfair. And the reason why I think it's unfair is because, yes, you were a man and you now have the chemical makeup of a woman in terms of hormone levels, but your muscles are still the muscles of a man. You are still the physical frame. Your physique is still that of a man. So therefore, you still have an advantage over these women. It's simple as that.
I think sports is gonna continue to be a quote unquote problem, like, in this space. But even on the topic of, like, what did you say? They try and make it equal. What they trying to do?
Yeah, they're trying to
make it morally
right.
morally equal, but it's not logistically
but
equal.
I think it's morally equal for some, because it's in trying to cater to one group,
you exclude another group.
Well, I don't think it's morally equal for anyone. I think
I agree, Danny.
Yeah, I think they get in, but if you went from not winning anything to just destroying a competition, I would argue that you're probably not going to be too happy with that either way. But
here's the thing.
Reminds me of that meme where there's equality and then there's justice. And like equality is trying to look over the wall. Everybody has the same height of wooden block, but not everybody can see over the wooden wall. But justice, right? Everybody has a fair amount of wood and everybody can see over the wall equally.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Like I said, it's unfair, and in this need to include people, it excludes people, because what happened here, there were people who were training for months for this tournament, this swim tournament, and one of the girls did not make the cut, and it's her last year to swim Division 1. And this person is their first year swimming Division 1 as a woman. So you basically just stole a spot that could have been somebody else's. Now, listen to this. People will say, oh, well, the other women just need to work harder and whatever. How can you work harder when you're swimming against somebody who was a man?
Weren't you saying something about Serena Williams the other day? What was it about how...
This Australian lady was accepting an award, and in accepting the award, she made some comments about Serena Williams and about Serena and Venus about, oh, they're not that, like, basically they would lose against any man and whatnot.
So give context, right? So it was for whatever movie.
Yeah.
The Australian, I don't know if she was a director. I can't
remember what movie.
But remember, Venus and Serena had the movie King.
Well, they didn't have the movie. They had a movie about their father, King Richard.
Yeah. But I guess she was saying their involvement in the production or whatever. And she was She was saying, oh, as if she has been competing against men in this, field and space.
Yeah.
And then she said, what she said? What was
They say, she said, Venus and Serena, you are such marvels. However, you do not play against the guys like I have to. That's her exact words.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's like, why Venus and Serena have to catch a stray bullet in your acceptance thing? First of all, Venus and Serena never claimed to be able to beat men. In fact, Serena has actually gone on record saying that she doesn't think if she got placed against the ranked 100th man in the world that she would beat him. She never claimed she can beat men.
But also, even just as a woman, you going up there to receive an award and you chopping down other women, like, come on, bro.
So, but here's my thing. It's like, why you think there's some things that need to be separated. And I believe this goes back to what we're talking about. I believe, honestly, they need to just separate the trans people. I know people say, oh, but then that's not inclusive, whatever. But if it comes down to being an unfair thing where I can decide, well, I'm not winning on the men's side, let me transition to become a woman and go and smash records and beat the women.
I think that fair. Right now, that's probably the best. That's probably the best case scenario for them right now.
But here's the sad thing, Adani. We think it's the best case scenario because we're thinking logically. I'm going to be honest. These people are thinking emotionally, and they're going to say, "Oh, well, then that's not very inclusive. That's like you telling us, I transitioned to a woman, but I can't use the women's bathroom because I used to be a man." That's what it's going to come to. And again, but not transphobic. Nothing against any trans people, but this is not about transphobia. This is about fairness right now. And this is just not fair. To see you a woman, you training for how long? That's your livelihood. You know? And somebody decide, well, I'm not making on the men's side and I identify as a woman now. So let me go over here now and compete where I know I'm physically more superior than this person. I'm stronger, I'm faster, and just smash them. And then now you're going to come and tell them, oh, well, you just need to train harder. Train harder for what? No matter how hard a 5-foot person train, they will not be able to dunk like a 6'5" person.
Yeah, there's a reason why in some of these sports, right? Like the net is, or what do you say? The rim is
the rim wider, is a certain wider or a certain height. Some of these, come on, I don't know. It's crazy. And then you put it right here. They try to make everything morally right. They try to make everything acceptable. And it's to the point now that in all of this, they decide to exclude it, leading to people being excluded. And it's just not working. You can't fit a square peg in a round hole.
Yep. You're going to find that the people making the laws are unfortunately not the people that have to deal with the consequences as per usual. So until some rich person daughter doesn't lose by like 5 seconds to somebody who is transitioned, then it'll be like, okay, wow, I never thought it would be so bad.
It was 46 seconds, eh?
Yeah, so
it was bad, eh? I sent a video for it, was bad, eh?
So I think they wouldn't need their own bracket of competition. I think it's only fair because rank sports is about physical ability, and you naturally have
An advantage.
Well, and here's the thing,
Hold on,
right? It creates a road for other trans people to be able to aspire to want to compete.
But
right?
here's my thing. We don't have paralympic people playing in the regular sports.
But
they have Paralympics. They have a
but you get how what you're saying right now could be like seen as problematic, like they have a disability. So
I'm not saying it's a disability.
I'm asking you to clarify.
Yes, I clarify how. Please, how else?
No, that you're. I could just.
Yes, I'm not saying they have a disability. Yeah. Not saying that. I'm saying we're giving everybody a fair and even playing field, because it would be unfair to put a I don't know what they call them.
Paralympian?
No. Like I just using like tennis for example. They have the people. Are they? What is the word? No, it's either way. It would be unfair, nonetheless, to do that. Like put a Paralympian up against
a normal Olympian.
Yeah, a normal. No, not a normal Olympian, because they all Olympians. They all normal Olympians, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Just one's a Paralympian, one's a non-Paralympian. It would not make sense to put them up. It would be unfair. If we're talking about fairness and one like it's like they're willing to throw out fairness to make everybody happy and acceptable.
But it's not making everybody happy.
Nope.
That's the thing. It's not making everybody happy. This is crazy. So here's the funny thing. In all of this, that I also saw in Ukraine right now, they are not letting trans people leave because their identification still have them listed as men. So they have to stay and fight. Thoughts, feelings, guys?
I mean, personally, I don't think the war should be
tennis players. That's what they're called.
Okay.
Go on. Sorry. I don't know why it was eluding me. It just
I mean, personally, I wish this war wasn't happening in the first place. I also wish like people wouldn't be like forced to stay and fight, or whatever. Vernon, could you see yourself staying and fight?
If I do have an option and I have to stay and defend my home, I go stay and fight. If I have the option to leave,
you will leave.
Things, I can rebuild somewhere and whatnot. But if I cannot leave, I'm forced to stay, then I might as well stay and fight.
But you wouldn't have a problem if you're forced to stay?
No, I would definitely have a problem if I'm forced to stay.
Okay.
I have a problem if I'm forced to go and do groceries. I don't do anything against my will. If you're going to let somebody tell me I have to go and fight. So here's the funny thing about all of this, right? Yes, I agree. I wish this war wasn't going on. All of that jazz. I 100% agree. This shit's funny to me, if I'm being honest. Okay? And let me tell you why this is funny to me. Because when I read the story, then I read another thing saying about, it's basically feminists saying about true feminism right now is making sure no woman is left behind. So that includes the trans women, and they must not be forced and they must leave and whatnot. Are you ready for me to explain to you why this is funny to me? Isn't the whole concept of feminism equality? Anushka, are you rolling your eyes? Because I'm going to say,
because you say both sides should be staying to required to fight.
If we say we all equal, then everyone should stay and fight.
But you see what happened there is the women supposed to take care of the children thing that happened there.
Just make an age cut off. Just make an age cut off. above 55, men and women, you can choose to go and take care of the children.
Exactly.
And people below 18.
Danny, you say that like you've been thinking about this.
No, but that's commonsensical. That's common sense. Yeah.
Talk to them, Danny.
That's common sense. And in Ukraine, there have been women who have stayed back to fight. So, if everybody's been asked to stay back to fight, the only thing that should prevent you from fighting is if
your
you
age.
are if you are age disabled
Unable.
or disabled. Yeah.
Thank you. If we want to be equal, we want everybody to be equal and everybody to be included in everything, be able to do everything. You know a blanket thing to do, just do age. We don't have to do gender, just do age. You over 55, okay. When you're that age, can you still fight? Do you think you're still able to fight? Do you think you can? Okay, stay and fight. You don't think you can? Okay, fine, leave. Go wherever. I don't know. I don't know when we got to this point of wanting to make everything so acceptable and appease everybody. But here's the funny thing: we picking and choosing when we want to do it and who we want to appease.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem, because it's okay for you to compete against sports-wise, but now for war, it's you want to be on the other side of the coin now. So, it's like, let's formulate a level playing field so that there is a level structure for all of this going forward.
You can't have your cake and eat it.
Now,
that's basically, you can't have your cake and eat it, Missy.
Women have fought for many years to be included in the armed forces. So now that there's a conflict,
go and fight. Look your gun. There's the door to the battlefield. Have fun. Go with God. I'm not trying to sound like a dick. I swear to God.
I don't know.
I swear to God, I'm not trying to sound like a dick. I just think a lot of this.
I think what it is that many people try to push forward the narrative that there is no difference between men and women. That we are all the same. Right? Women can just give birth to children. Men have the only thing that separates us as our body parts, right? But that is not always the case, right?
It's not always the case.
So now this conflict is shedding light that people who are pushing that narrative are aware that that is not the case. Exactly. But to further their narrative, they will ignore this to push their own narrative. But we are very well aware in the Caribbean that there are specific gender roles, regardless of how you want to feel about them. There are specific gender roles, right? The amount of people who work construction is 99% men, right? The amount of people who fight wars is 97% men, right? And there's a reason for that, because these things are ugly. These things are not humane, right? Women don't get treated fairly in them, right? But that is the natural existence of the planet that we live on. So until that changes, until in another 1,000 years where women are stronger than men and, can toss us across their shoulder.
Then you get there. Because you have a lot of these men transitioning into women. Nah, you're laughing. I know you're like,
I didn't laugh. I did not laugh.
Here's the thing. I think what frustrates me in all of this is everybody's throwing out logic for feelings. Everybody's feeling so strongly about something that they're willing to ignore all logic on the subject and stop and think about, well, that just doesn't even make sense altogether logically. But it's because I feel this way and I feel I must be right, I will throw logic out the window.
I think it's been seen as an on and off switch instead of like a spectrum, because they would say the existing logic did not support or take into consideration, right? Like their feelings or culling outside the lines and, that kind of thing. But it's trying to figure out what the marriage of the two is, right?
I'm all for inclusivity. I'm all for fairness. I'm all for everybody getting to be who they want to be in life. But at a certain point, right, it can't just be fair for you. It has to be fair for everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you can't just get to pick and
by the
choose
whole logic thing.
when it's fair to you and when it's not fair to you.
Because if we going by that these set of rules, right? Then tomorrow I can wake up and go and decide to rob a bank, and for me, it's fair for me. So it should be fair for all of y'all. It should be right. You should accept it that he just wants to walk in and rob this bank, and we should just let it happen because that's what he feels like doing. He's entitled to his right to rob a bank. You see how that makes no sense, right? Exactly. That's what I mean when I say we want to throw out logic to appease everybody's feelings. We can't do that, Missy. If we operating like that, then the world goes into anarchy and chaos. Mm-hmm. That's what we go into. That's exactly what we dive into.
But then I feel like it's almost organizations, people, whatever, like caving underneath the pressure of like being cancelled or being labeled or being whatever. Now,
but I'm sure
I don't know if y'all.
But I'm sure because you saying it right, but you saw it almost happen. They tried to do it to Dave Chappelle. You saw they tried to do it to him. They tried to cancel him.
Well, but here's another one, J.K. Rowling, right?
So you see, they always try and cancel that woman.
Even on like the Harry Potter thing, the Harry Potter anniversary thing, they excluded her from it because of whatever transphobic,
So imagine your life's work. Like they're doing an anniversary reunion thing for your life's work. That's your life's work. Let me tell you something.
But the thing is, she stands by what she said, right? She's somebody who is not willing to cave.
Yeah, and what I'm saying is she should have been allowed to come to that. That is this woman's life work. Say what you want. When you hear J.K. Rowling, you hear Harry Potter, and you're telling me you having something about something I write. My life's work, and I'm not invited? Come on, Missy. How is that fair? So you see how to appease people and include everybody, we are now willing to exclude somebody. You see that? Mm-hmm. We exclude the creator of the thing. Missy, when is it enough? This come on, man. It's to the point where it's almost like a big bully. It's like a big bully. It's like, I don't like this person. I don't think we should cancel them, kind of thing. That's
so. I don't know if y'all have heard TERF.
Yes, heard
is
that.
An acronym for Transgender Exclusionary Radical Feminists.
Yep, heard
a
that
term
one.
Coined more than a decade ago by cisgender heterosexual women who to some TERF is a slur, to others a descriptive. Last year, that term has been weaponized at times by those who advocate trans inclusion in feminist spaces and those who push for trans exclusion from female-only spaces, right? So you see, so women.
So I'm a TERF then, since I don't want.
You're a female?
Oh, good. That's right. Not a female. So I can't be a TERF. You're right.
Unless you identify as female.
No, I don't. Okay. So then they probably just say I'm just transphobic. I'm not transphobic, by the way. I just think you have to have some logic and some things need to be a bit fair.
Is this inclusion or exclusion as a female thing, right? But I feel like the same is not happening on the side with men. Guys, I struggle with my feminism. I'm not like being a woman, but like feminist beliefs. You know what I mean?
That one I'm not touching.
Yeah, I know. I don't even know how to define it.
Fucking pole. But you brought up this and that's a prime example, the J.K. Rowling thing. And then we saw they tried to do it to Dave Chappelle. And Netflix was like, fuck that, like boohoo, sucks to be y'all. We signed him for some more specials.
And the thing is, I mean, I don't even J.K. Rowling thing, if y'all would not, yeah, y'all can go look it up, but it was essentially like she was saying how she don't have no problem with trans people, but when it comes to trying and redefine her experience as female, like that's when she has like an issue, because there was some article that was written and they were referring to it as non what menstruating women and non-menstruating women or something like that. And she's like, so y'all trying to like reclassify my existence. You get what I'm saying?
So here's my and you bring up another, well, one of my issues I think I've noticed. She spoke out against that. You're trying to reclassify my experience or rewrite how my experience or whatnot. And they got mad and immediately
continue to cancel her. Versus
if that's not
try
a mafia,
to understand, right? That's an example of no, my emotions and my cause is more important than your retaliation to my, you know?
That's how the mafia, that's how drug dealers move. You go against me, I wipe you out. That's basically what's
jokes on them
here.
Because I mean that lady is like sitting on.
Here's the thing. I would never pick a fight for anybody who wrote 7 books like that. That person has a wild fucking imagination. Okay? I want nothing to do with you. You wrote 7 books that made billions of dollars. I don't want anything to do with you. You're very powerful. Oh my God. Ugh. This is tiring. It makes life, because now you know what happens. People literally walk around on eggshells now. They don't know. They don't want to, like, I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to get cancelled.
You know,
and anytime they say something, they quick to put out I'm sorry.
No. Like, you know, the other thing, the pronouns, right? Because I have no problem with people wanting to be used by certain pronouns, you know, for their respect, experience, whatever. But if y'all notice now, like, there's so many things, like even on LinkedIn or whatever, is, you know, supposed to put your pronouns of like she, her, or even in organizations, you know, in companies, you know, because they want to have it open so people's, you know, pronouns, you know, or even some people asking, oh, what are your pronouns, you know, like in advance or whatever. And some people who don't have, you know, typically different pronouns are still like saying this, or, you know, using it just as a way to quote unquote be an ally and show as if, not saying that they are not allies, but to show what's the word, show, you know, that they in with it, they supportive, they whatever. And I could be wrong, I could be old school or whatever, but I'm like, why you need to say what your pronouns are if your pronouns are not like different from like what would be typical? You know what I mean?
I don't know, Anushka.
Like, why have to be like, hi, my name is Anushka, my pronouns are she, her?
I will be honest with you. All this is very tiring to me.
Hey, you brought it up.
Yes, and I brought it up because it is very tiring to me.
But honestly, I've been not afraid, but kind of afraid to touch this with a 10-foot pole because because of how touchy it is.
Yeah,
right?
I was, and then I thought, this is not me. If the thing now is everybody being their authentic self, this is not me. I don't shy away from. If I have a feeling about something, I feel a way about it, I express myself, because y'all can't be the only people who get to express yourselves.
And then other people, for the fear of how other people are going to receive,
will not
express their
feelings. Because then now it becomes you're the only one shouting in the room. And people are now afraid to speak up, because if I speak up and I say something different from how you feel or go against what you're saying, then immediately you now command everybody to cancel me.
And here's another perspective as well, right? Like, if we don't kind of speak of our like dissent, confusion, whatever, with, you know, these changes and whatnot, then maybe like we won't have space for like dialogue, about it to even like try to understand. You get what I'm saying?
I get you. I 100% get you. And I go like sometimes I have some thoughts and it's be like, what if one day a group of people just like when they came for a new rule or something, everybody just said no. Like fuck that, I'm not doing that. Like you're always giving us a new rule every week. No. How about no? I just don't do it. What now?
Does it mean that people on your island?
Like they really would. I think that's what I would start the island for, because I'm tired of every week is a new rule. It's a new thing that you could say that could potentially offend somebody every week. So no, let me
like
go to my
offending
island.
people is almost like the new murder.
Almost like it is. When they cancel you, cancel it. That is it.
Yeah. Well,
That's
hopefully y'all
crazy.
don't cancel us for this podcast episode. We're not just having us try to be our authentic selves.
Here's the thing. If they cancel us, whoop-de fucking do. It's still my podcast. I'll still put out my episodes. I own the domain. I pay for everything. What? I'm sorry. I do. It's crazy. How are we in this world where nah, man. Nah.
Adani, you there?
Adani trying to not get cancelled.
I'm here.
He letting me dig my hole on my own.
Right, Adani?
And that's fine.
Flare up.
Nah, he don't need to throw the rope. If he need to save himself, that's fine. I'll take the truck for all of us.
Nah, we good. We good. I think as Caribbean millennials, I think we have many people who kind of share our views as well. So I think we're good. I think the current culture is just a lot of people are afraid to say what's really on their mind. But I think on the grand scheme of things, that is unhealthy going forward. I think realistically, there are many people out there who do not wish anything bad on anybody, right? They just want to live their life. Yep. So I think we need to rip the Band-Aid off and just have more open discourse. Like, hey, I'm not happy with this aspect of trans culture, or I'm not happy with this aspect of cis culture, right? Mm-hmm. And everybody can speak freely, and then we can find a solution to move forward.
A happy medium.
Yeah, exactly. But if one side or both sides are constantly in fear of getting attacked and getting cancelled and not seeming fair, then, nobody's actually going to say what's on their mind. I'm just going to have a set of people walking around secretly upset with each other while they smiling in each other's people's faces, which is politics. So why are we turning daily life into just regular politics? Yeah, we should be more real, and I think this podcast is a good step to branching out to that. So instead of canceling us, if you have a problem with what was said here today, maybe provide another opinion, another perspective.
Adani, well said.
And then we can talk about it.
We can talk about it. I am more than open. I think all three of us are more than open to have an open dialogue with anybody who may feel differently about what we say. Or even if you don't feel differently, but you share the same sentiments or similar, come, let us know. Let me hear what you have to say. Guys, I think I'm going to take a nap now after this.
I'm hungry.
I feel exhausted after talking about this.
I'm going to watch Human Resources.
So...
Have you seen Human Resources?
I haven't.
No, I haven't. But
okay.
I will. It's on the list.
It's like Big Mouth, but
it's on the list.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
What Venom started watching that I'm really enjoying is Abbott Elementary.
Oh, love it.
Dog.
Love it. I was there day one.
Yes.
I was there day one.
Maybe we should do that, add that to the start of the podcast. What are you watching this week?
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool.
I'll take up a whole episode.
Because Valhalla, is awesome.
Right?
Yeah. All right,
we'll start Valhalla too. Yeah.
We'll start next week. If we're still around, we'll start next week.
Yeah. If we're not cancelled. Guys, it's been another episode of the Caribbean Millennials podcast. I hope everyone has a good week. Hope it's productive. Health, wealth, all that stuff. We're out.